Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and I'm outside the store I bought a year ago, a little over a year ago. It's a liquor store, kind of a small grocery store, mini mart, and then it's got 3 apartments up above it as well. So I'm gonna go over some of the pros, cons of owning a store like this. It's the first time I have run a store. I have lots of real estate and different stuff on that side of it, but this is kind of the first store that I have run. So we've had some good times, bad times. 3 managers that we've had over the last year. Had to get rid of some employees recently, which is never fun, but part of the business. And I'll talk about kind of my role too, how much I work on it and don't work on it. And most recently, we did paint this wall. I'd asked YouTube and some different people about what to do here. And you can see, it's the market. We're gonna add more up there. It's just been so cold. They can't come back and finish yet. So hopefully when we get some warm days here, they'll come back and finish. I think we said it's gonna say market and liquor, but we wanted it up high and big so people could see it from far away, because the highway is 2 blocks right there, right where that semi is driving by, and a pretty busy highway. We are in Pierce, Colorado. That's where we're at. So we also have made some progress on serving more food options. I was able to get a new license for the store and pass a class myself, I'll talk about. And then I thought we're gonna be able to add some of those options today, and then we were hugely disappointed once opening up the box, and we'll talk about that here too. You can see, oh, we do have, look, the new signs. We asked our painters to put white or some kind of steel between the signs because you barely read them. It looks so much better now. And let's see what oh, it's cold. The wind, when it blows, it's cold. Oh, and that looks so much better now too. Cool. All right, and the entrance to the apartments is back there. They are all rented, so that part's worked out well. The building itself has worked out great. We'll talk about some of that and what it might be worth now. But the store itself has been up and down. We've had kind of some really bad sales weeks the last month or so, but that could be the time of year. So it'll be interesting to see how this year progresses. And I'll try and show you some of those numbers here too on how the store has done over the last year. All right, love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. I have lots of other videos on the store, and one when I first bought it can show you the big differences we've made. We've added tons of inventory, painted, cleaned it up, really made it look a lot better. And the town and other people have said that to us as well, so that's always nice to hear. And it is a big part of the town. It's not a huge town. You know, there's not a lot. There's a restaurant over there. But people do like having this store, and it's sure a lot easier than having to drive to another town to get some of the essentials and different stuff. All right, so we'll walk in, take a look, talk about some of the sales, different stuff, all that right now. So I know a lot of you have heard about the store many times. We've done many videos. So I'm going to start talking about some of the employees and challenges there that I haven't talked a lot about lately. So we have had 3 managers. The first one was a very part-time. They had a full-time job, did a pretty decent job, but had some things change in their personal life, actually for the good, you know, in a positive way, that did not allow them to work as much as they thought they could. So we knew we had to get someone else. We actually hired someone to be the manager at the store and help out with the bar as well. And they were just horrible. I try not to say that about people, but we had references. It actually worked for people. We had references from other managers. Everything looked amazing. And I don't know if they're just a decent employee, but then once they got into a manager role, just not a good situation at all. And they lasted about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and just it was impossible for us to work together. So then we hired another manager, and they've worked out much better. They've been, I don't know how long it's been, 4 or 5 months maybe. And those are the sweet eggs we get from a local place. Since it's hard to get eggs, it's one great thing we are able to get lots of eggs. But we had to let go of 2 employees recently who had been with the store as long as I've had it. So that was tough. That was difficult to do. It's part of the business. The manager wanted to do it, wanted my backing to do it as well, which I gave my blessings to do it, because another situation where you give people a whole lot of chances over and over again, and just the things that needed to change weren't changing. I won't get into specifics, but it just wasn't a situation where we could keep going with it. So I had to do that, still fully staffed, and over time, making sure there's coffee in there. We added those coffee machines, added donuts, and we're going to add some more hot food too. So that's something else I want to talk about besides the employees is I got my food safety license. I had to take a class and pass a test. It was quite the process. And here is our new hot dog roller that I brought today, which was very exciting too. That's where the lid was in. Then the other box with a hot dog roller, it had tons of wood around it. Had to pry that open. We got that open and pull out the hot dog lids. Yes, they gave us 10 sneeze guards for the hot dog machine instead of the hot dog machine. So we have 11 lids because one lid was in there too. So I've been trying to get in touch with this company, webwestronststore.com or something, and they don't have a phone number. I can't get their form to submit a complaint in there, but I checked my sales receipts and everything. I ordered the hot dog roller. That's what they charged me for. They just sent me the wrong stuff, and it took like a week. So I'm hoping we can get the right hot dog roller here soon. But with that food license, that food safety course, I had to pass that, and we had to add a mop sink, which we'll show you here. Now we can have hot dogs, some prepared foods, and that should be exciting. We had some more supposed to come here today that I could show you too, and my manager actually wouldn't tell me what they are. She wanted to surprise me, but our vendor who brings those wasn't there yet. They're delayed, so that'll have to be for the next video to see what other kind of lunch specials we'll be able to give people, which is something I've wanted to do for a while. Hopefully that can increase our sales. Inventory stocked pretty well for a while there. It's hard to get a lot of stuff. That's getting better. So we have lots of stuff. People keep coming in, but our sales are definitely down, and we'll show you the chart here at the end. I have a few ideas on why that's happening, and hopefully we can fix all of that. But here's in the back area. You can see we still have some storage here. There's the beautiful mop sink. Oh yeah, I think the employees store food in their little fridge. There's a beautiful mop sink we had to build. It was very easy. I talked to the health department. They showed up, told me what I had to do. I gave them my food certification letter, sent them a picture of the mop sink. They said, okay, you're good to go. We'll upgrade you. So that was cool. I would say after taking that test, learned so much about food temperatures and handling of food safely and all kinds of different things. And now every time I go to a restaurant or get food, I'm like, ooh, they're not doing things right. So I don't know if it was a good thing to take that test or not, because now I'm second guessing everywhere I go. There's a few that do a good job. For the most part, I'm like, oh, that's a violation, that's a violation, that's a violation. So a lot of the handling parts of wearing gloves and how you do that is where I think people get tripped up. And that's something, the main thing we have to do is make sure that the employees are wearing gloves if they're serving any prepared food, touching prepared food for customers, and of course wash hands between doing that and checking anybody out, take your gloves off, all of that. That's the one thing I see that really bugs me is people don't take their gloves off when they check out people and then go prepare more food and stuff. So anyway, here's our back storage room. Part of me still wants to do something back here at another business, but it's been a little frustrating because I mentioned I tried to start a laundromat in the little bar we have in the town over, and the town wanted 2 water taps. That didn't work out well, so that kind of went kaput. But that property is actually under contract now to sell. I had someone approach me who wants to buy it, and I can't even tell you what for, but if that goes through, then I can let you know. But so someone else might be starting a new business there, just not me. And here's the liquor side of it. Again, added tons of inventory here, added more shelving, more choices for people, which I think has been great. It was expensive to add more inventory and keep upping that. When the sales at the store were doing better over the summer, kind of that's when we upped a lot of our inventory, used that extra money to just buy more stuff. And now that sales have been lower, it's actually worked out pretty well because we've got the inventory built up to where it needs to be. We just need to replenish it. And so we haven't had to stick a bunch of extra money into the store or anything like that because we already built up our inventory. So that has been nice. And yes, it's much, much cleaner now every time I go in, which is fantastic. We still have our frozen drinks, which right now is not the most amazing time for those. But, some people still might be, want to be double frozen after going outside. And then, yes, just the shelves are full now. And I took my time really filming this time because I know some people ask me to slow down and show what we have. And before, there were literally empty shelves, half-filled shelves, not much stuff on there. And we've really tried to change that. And so, like I said before, people all the time still come in the store, even a year later, while I'm there, which I'm not there that often. I'm there maybe once a week, and say, "Wow, we haven't been in there. We didn't know it changed owners. It's so clean in here. You have so much stuff. This is really cool." So it's cool to see that. And so the feedback we get, all is good and positive. It's just really trying to hone in the sales and get those going. And I know there's some more marketing we can do. We've used Facebook some, but not as much as we could. We've done a few sales, but not that many. We're trying to get our loyalty program going. So we could have, done that before, but we had some issues and didn't do it. So now that we've got inventory, kind of all that locked in, then we can really hone in on marketing. And had a meeting with the manager too about working more on marketing, more on Facebook, maybe doing some more sales, maybe some giveaways and contests, which we did some last year. That really got people into the store as well. So by doing those things, we'll see what we can do and go from there. It is, tough because it's a small store, not a lot of inventory, especially on the alcohol side. We are a little more expensive than some of the other liquor stores around because they're bigger. They can get bulk orders. They can charge less than we can, especially if some of those liquor stores, if those owners have a few liquor stores and can really, buy more in bulk. And talking to the reps, you really get the discounts when you can order a pallet of booze. So if you can get, a pallet of Coors Light, a pallet of Bud Light, then you can really drop the price on it. But we don't have a ton of room for storage to do that. I mean, there was more room behind the store, but that's for, on the store side, the food side, and we're not really supposed to mix storing the alcohol and the food, I don't think. So I guess I could look into that. I don't know that for sure. Maybe we can. But it is tricky to get those big discounts. So that does put us at a disadvantage. There is still some advantages we have, though, too. Colorado recently had a new law where you have to buy plastic or paper bags when you go to a store. You have to pay 10 cents now. And so many stores have just outlawed them, stopped selling bags. We can still sell bags here. So if you need to go to a store that sells bags in the area, no, we don't sell them. We can still give bags away, because they had a loophole where if you have less than 3 stores, are doing business from Colorado, you're from Colorado, and you don't have a franchise, you don't have to charge for bags. So we are one of the few stores in the area that does not have to charge for plastic bags or paper bags. So that's kind of cool. And then I always want to make sure we have lots of IPA available. I like IPA beer. I think it's delicious. And I know our manager likes sour more. And the other day I was there, I could only find one IPA. And I know IPA is super popular. So I just want to make sure we have plenty of IPAs. We do have more, but I think we could still have a little bit more. And then in the summer, it's always nice to go into the walk-in cooler where it's nice and cold and cool down. In the winter, it's not as nice. It makes you freezing, especially since it's outside. But you can see the stuff we have stocked really well, have lots of stuff. So that's good to see. And the manager's been good at getting new things and trying new things out as well, too, which is something I wanted to do, get new variety, different things in the store. Because if we can't, beat people on price, maybe we can beat them not on variety because we don't have a massive liquor store, but uniqueness. We can still get different stuff in, unique stuff. And we're even talking about getting different unique stuff on the food side where we're partnering with local, even if it's bakeries or different things like that, where we can stock very unique foods that other stores won't stock. I think that would be advantageous as well. So we're working on that too. Here's the back storage room. We added tons of racks and shelving that were not here before. Before it was a mixture of washer and dryer, broken ice machine, all kinds of different stuff that not much actual inventory. So we've done a much better job at that. So the store's doing okay. The apartments have done great. So speaking of that, we have one apartment rented for $700 a month, one rented for $700 a month, one rented for $1,500 a month. The store pays $2,700 a month in rent. That could actually go up a little bit. And in general, the building itself has done fantastic. So the building has done much better than the store as far as building wealth and income, but the store has a lot of potential, I think, and could do much better if we're able to increase sales, up sales, and yes, we have lots and lots of inventory to sell, as you can see. These are our weekly sales. I put them together and make cool graphs with them. And about a year ago is when we opened. So I bought the store in January. We closed for a little bit, fixed it up, then opened it up again. And you can see we started out very, very slow, under a $10,000 week, which was definitely losing money. But we went up significantly at the end of February. March was okay. April went up. And the summer was fantastic. And then you can see here towards the end, we started going downhill in the fall. December was not amazing. Christmas week was kind of the real low week you see there. January got better. February got better. Then we had a really bad week last week. So it's hard to know why. It could be just the time of year. It would be really interesting to see what happens as this year progresses. If we follow the same curve last year, if it stays low, maybe it's just seasonal. And that will tell us a lot, I think, as we move forward. Okay, here's what the store looked like when I first bought it. Just going to have that playing in the background while I talk about some of the numbers on the building. So I mentioned we have $700 in rent plus $700 in rent plus $1,500 in rent. That's the apartment we just remodeled. I have a family living in there. $2,900 plus, I believe it's $2,700 in rent for the store. We're making $5,600 a year in gross rent on the building. Now there's some expenses there, of course. The store pays for its own utilities. I believe upstairs the landlord pays for most of the utilities because they aren't metered separately. I know we pay for water, and I believe electricity. I'd have to check and see. So there are some expenses there. Just looking at a gross value on the building and not getting too deep into all the expenses. I like to do, can do a gross cap rate. We have the monthly rents. Multiply that by 12. That means $67,200 is coming in gross. That's not your net income, your gross income. And if we were to divide that by like a 0.08 or even 0.85 cap rate, this is in a small town. It might have a little higher cap rate than other properties I have because it's in a small town and it's mixed use, which sometimes makes the cap rates a little higher too. And a higher cap rate actually means the property is worth less compared to the rents. It's inverse of what some people think. But mixed use can be harder to finance in some cases. Some cases it's not. So that could be part of it. But if we go from there, that makes the property worth $790,000. I think it definitely is worth in that range. And that is just a property. I paid $610,000 for the store and the business. So I've added value to the building itself, and I separated the store. You can see how sparse it was. Jeez. And put it in its own S corp, so it's separate. It could be sold separately, and revenues, are part of what goes into the valuation of a business. Also income, but if the store were to make $10,000 a month, which is not, but if it did, sometimes you might value it based on a multiplier of 3 or 4. So then you multiply it by 3. The store might be worth $360,000 to $480,000 if it was making $10,000 a month. It's probably making a few $1,000s a month, but it's got the potential to do much more. Plus, we've got the inventory in there that you'd probably $100,000 in inventory or more that we've added to. So the store is probably worth in the range, if I were just to sell the business, of $150,000 to $300,000. A very wide range. So on the low end, we've definitely been able to add, $250,000, $300,000 of value by separating the store from the building, increasing rents, and doing all of that. And really, if the store does as good as I think it can do this year, I think that we can definitely up that number quite a bit, and we'll see how all that goes. All right. Thanks for watching. That is the update on the store after 1 year. I'm still glad I bought it. I've always wanted a brick and mortar store like this. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. Dealing with the employees and having to get rid of some people is actually the most difficult thing to do. And I didn't even have to do it directly. It was the manager who did that. But that's been difficult. But I actually saw one of the employees today when I was at the store, the ex-employees, and we were talking. No hard feelings. They even apologized for some of the things that had gone wrong. So that was good. At first I was like, oh, this might be kind of awkward, but it actually turned out to be great. And so that was good to see. All right. We'll have more updates. We'll have more information on the store as we move along. If people have suggestions, ideas, love to hear those. Love to hear your comments. You can see, yeah, this is what the storage room looked like before. I wasn't kidding, with broken ice machines and freezers and, yeah, not actual inventory back there except for a few shelves. A little different now. All right. Thanks for watching. Be back soon.